Just as quarks are the building blocks of matter, squares and rectangles are the building blocks of geometry. This kit will teach you about the mathematical properties of squares and rectangles, using art concepts and sewing skills. Explore a world of colors, shapes, and patterns. Create a handmade masterpiece. And when you're finished, share your quirk with the world. Your kit includes 1 sewing needle, 2 colors of thread, 1 8x8 inch muslin square, 6 3x3 felt squares, 1 6x6 inch felt square. Your colors of felt may vary. Helpful tools are scissors and a ruler. They are not included with the kit. Happy sewing! Using the In This Kit list, make sure your quirk isn't missing anything. Unfold the muslin cloth and place it on the table. You will use the creases as guidelines for laying out your felt pieces. Choose 4 3x3 inch blocks, only 2 colors, and place them in a checkerboard pattern on the muslin cloth. Cut the left 2 squares in half so that you have 4 3x1.5 inch rectangles. Rearrange the rectangles so that each piece is next to a different color. Take 2 rectangles and cut them in half. You now have 4 1.5x1.5 inch squares. Rearrange the pieces so that the far left column has 4 squares of alternating colors. You now have all 3 of the sizes you can use to compose your quirk. Cut the remaining rectangles into squares and arrange them in a checkerboard pattern. Cut the remaining 3-inch squares into rectangles and then into 1.5 inch squares to complete the checkerboard pattern. You now have 16 1.5 inch squares. Introduce the third color to your layout by removing the center 4 squares and placing a 3-inch square in their place. Introduce the fourth color. Cut the 6-inch block in half. You now have 2 6-inch by 3-inch rectangles. Cut one of the rectangles in half to make 2 3-inch squares. Cut each of those squares in half to make 4 3-inch by 1.5 inch rectangles. On all 4 sides of the red center square, replace 2 middle squares with one of these rectangles. Explore composition. Continue to rearrange your shapes and colors, experimenting with what looks best. When you're happy with your layout, get ready to sew. Choose your thread color, orange or purple. Measure a piece that is roughly the length of your forearm and then cut. Guide one end of the thread through the eye of the needle and pull it until the 2 sides are of equal length. Once your needle is threaded, hold it by the eye in one hand. With the other hand, wrap the ends of your thread around the needle, pinching the wrap with the hand holding the needle. Pinch and pull the wrap thread all the way down until you have a knot. Once your needle is threaded, hold it by the eye in one hand. With the other hand, wrap the ends of your thread around the needle, pinching the wrap with the hand holding the needle. Pinch and pull the wrap thread all the way down until you have a knot. Don't forget needle safety. When you're not using your needle, place it in the felt. Transfer your felt pieces from the muslin square to the table, keeping your layout intact. Choose which felt piece you'd like to sew first and bring it back to its place on the muslin square. Keep in mind that your composition will be easiest to maintain if you start with a centerpiece. Starting from underneath, choose a corner of your first piece you'd like to sew first and bring it back to its place in the muslin square. Starting from underneath, choose a corner of your first piece and push your needle up through the muslin and then the felt. Make sure the knot of your thread is on the underside. Move 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch to the left or right. Then push your needle back down through the felt and muslin. Continue like this all the way around the square or rectangle, ending your last stitch on the back of the muslin. This is called a running stitch. If your thread gets too short, secure your stitches by tying a knot in the thread close to the muslin and cut your thread just above the knot. Measure a new length of thread, then rethread the needle. Once you have sewn the running stitch all the way around one piece of felt and tied off, start the process over and repeat these steps on the other felt pieces in your composition. Transfer one piece of felt at a time. And make sure to transfer neighboring pieces to maintain your composition. Bonus activity. Work with your friends and combine your QUARK squares to make a quilt. Thank you, parents and teachers. Bib Tucker is a 501c3 nonprofit organization funded through grants and charitable contributions. Our mission is to cultivate skills for those who sew or want to sew and create a community where everyone can be both a teacher and a student. We have a 1-for-1 business model, meaning that for each QUARK sold, we donate a QUARK to a school, camp, or children's group because we believe art and education go hand in hand. Last year, Bib and Tucker taught more than 500 children how to sew. With your help, we hope to double that number next year. Please consider a donation.